Hello everyone and welcome back to the joinDOTA Open. We're going to be in the quarterfinals, the round of 8 now. We're going to have Artyk Gaming going up against QE. We saw QE take the last match against Q Pandas, and it was a pretty close game. It was definitely a close game, and it was probably an upset for a lot of the fans who came by, wanted to spot that game out between Q Pandas and, you know, any particular opponent. But Q Panda were going up against QE in that particular game, and you know, double Divine Rapier strat. Some people were posting the pictures about what was going on in the game. If someone wants to post that in chat once again.
Dire team pick.
But we are going to get underway now in this quarterfinals match between Artyk and QE. I'm going to stop. I'm getting so distracted by the chats. I think someone posted it. The picture I was talking about now, if people want to check that out. Alright, so we're going to have the first banning phase already completely done here. QE going to take out both the Wisp and the Bat Rider. Pretty standard bans there, I would say. And we're going to see Artyk actually choosing to take out Nyx as well as Keeper Light, leaving Nyx Assassin in the pool. And that does give QE the Nyx Assassin the first pick. Artyk now looking for what they want to do with their first two picks here. They go with the first one. It's going to be
Radiant team pick.
gonna be the Magnus, and then they followed up with the Rubik, trying to get rid of any of the supports that really are good against Magnus. They don't want to give the Rubik to the other team and steal that reverse play. It's a pretty easy steal, of course, so they don't want to deal with that particular issue. And then Nature's Prophet and actually Anti-Mage going to come out with QE. So go with a couple core heroes here in the form of Nature's Prophet as well as Anti-Mage. Of course, Nyx Assassin could end up as their solo mid as well. Can I say Arriba Peru? Arriba Peru. I don't know. I'm probably sounding terrible. Doesn't. And now we're looking for Artyk's final pick up here for this first picking phase.
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Not sure what they're gonna want to go for. They have the Magnus, who, you know, you kind of expect to see. And Rubik, you know, you'll probably see him in the support role. I'm getting distracted by chat. Time to turn that side computer off. Too much chat, trying to moderate and make sure these new mods aren't being jerks. I'm trusting you guys. If anyone gets banned wrongfully, you know, send me a message on Twitch and I'll take care of it.
Dire team ban.
But first picking phase is going to be complete here. Now we're going to see Darkseer as the last pick coming up from Artyk, so probably going to see him in the offlane Magnus mid. And then Rubik run as a support, which leaves them looking for the last two heroes that will fill out their tri-lane that you kind of come to expect from the competitive scene. While QE, they have the Nature's Prophet, who you usually see in the offlane. There are a couple teams that do like a mid. I think it's mostly just Dignitas at this point that I've seen run the Nature's Prophet mid in recent times. And Anti-Mage, who's almost certainly going to be in a farming role in the safe lane, not a very good hero for running an aggressive tri-lane. Whereas Rubik can be running an aggressive tri-lane, he's sort of seen as a little bit more defensive of a support typically, as his stun, the telekinesis, while a good setup stun doesn't do any damage. And having a lot of damage output is typically pretty important when you're running those aggressive tri-lanes. But we do see the second ban phase coming out now. It looks like Chen going to be a ban out from QE, followed up by Lone Druid as well as Gyrocopter. So going for a couple carries that are pretty decent at pushing in the form of the Lone Druid and Gyrocopter, as well as just the jungling support in the form of the Chen. Not sure if they would have wanted to go that route. They do know that they're going to be running up against an Anti-Mage, so getting a jungling support like the Chen might have been a pretty big deal. It's a pretty safe hero to run. You know, again, you know you're not going to be getting contested for farm in your tri-lane. You can just run that support. to get some extra farm out of the jungle, and Darkseer not really going to be the most
10
disruptive to the
seconds
Chen.
remaining.
Chen can sort of farm the more aggressive area of the Dire
5
jungle,
seconds remaining.
while Darkseer hangs out near the base at the one large camp at the small camp.
Reserve time.
Artyk, on the other hand, choosing to ban out the Silencer as well as the Enchantress and the Electric, just going straight for supports, maybe expecting Nyx to be running the mid lane. Maybe not sure if that's going to be the case, but they want to force it to be that way. They don't want Nyx in as a support role. And Nyx, you know, he's a pretty good roamer, but if you get, he kind of needs something going on, and he's not the best in just a tri lane that's not going to be doing anything around an anti-mage. You know the Darkseer is going to be there now, probably contesting the anti-mage's farm, like just dropping Ion Shell, but Shadow Demon, Nyx Assassin, they can do a lot of burst, but they don't have the greatest lockdown. They can sort of just try and bait out the Surge with some auto attacks, maybe even the Impale coming out from Nyx Assassin. And as soon as that Surge gets used, that's when you want to throw the Disruption from Shadow Demon to try and set up that kill, burn the duration
Phantom Assassin.
in the Disruption Ball. But the pick coming out now
Tinker.
is going to be Phantom Assassin from Artyk. Phantom Assassin, not a carry we see a ton of. Really not sure why they would go this particular route. There are a lot of heroes that are very powerful in the pool, but maybe it's because she'll have time to get farm. You know you're going to be up against Animage. She doesn't really need as many damage items to come online as a hero like Animage really might in the later game. As that coup de grace, the ultimate, just with that huge crit, is really powerful. And you could just pick something like Lifesteal and then BKB on her, and she's hitting really hard already. Tinker gonna be the last pick from QE, and then Artyk gonna go Ogre Magi as their final support. I'm just interested if they're gonna run this aggressively. This tri-lane certainly could go aggressive into the Animage's farm. They do have pretty good damage. Phantom Assassin, not the worst carry in a aggressive tri-lane. Dagger, a pretty powerful slow early on, decent for harassing, but I kind of expect Phantom Assassin to end up in the safe lane, Animage also in his respective safe lane, and we'll see Darkseer and Nature's Prophet probably abandoned to their jungles, and the supports have a little bit of a roam fight. Leaving the mid matchup to be that Tinker picked up by QE last. I didn't really get to comment on because of how quickly Ogre Magi came out. As Tinker, you know, not a completely surprise pick. We do see him from time to time, and obviously some teams favor Tinker a little more than others.
5 seconds
but definitely not a hero that we always see. You know, it's a common hero just to see in the mid lane. And we're going to see a pause come out now from the Dire's team. I'm going to turn free camera on. I'm going to turn game stats on. I'm going to turn storm announcer off. Look at how considerate I am of you guys who are here hanging out with me, watching this quarterfinal match in the joinDOTA Open. Whatever team, I don't know. I'm Captain Badass. Huh. Dude, there's like 500 Peruvians here? Well, I'm happy to meet all you Peruvians. Hope that you guys actually can understand me, and you're not just watching this pause screen. So that we can hang out, chat between the games, you know, whatever. Do you ever try co-casting? I did not ever try co-casting. I don't know what this link is. Should I be upset about this link? It's something in Russian. Can you time out for non-English? Yeah, if it's being disruptive. Guys, please try and keep it in English. I understand that, like, everyone wants to hang out and talk. But try and keep it in English. I speak English. This is an English stream. I understand if you want to watch it, maybe you don't understand me. I guess the people who aren't speaking English won't understand this anyway, so I'm probably wasting my time. But yeah, try and keep it in English, guys. Sharvik just says no problem. Sharvik Huesos Ibini. Hope I didn't say anything too like rude. I trolled me? I just called Sharvik a cocksucker. Well, that doesn't seem nice. I'm sorry, Sharvik. Someone tricked me. I was tricked. Oh, well. I don't appreciate that. Okay, I'm done. I'm done saying things. People have abused this. I feel abused. Alright, so it looks like we're ready to get back to it. Sharvik gonna unpause. So let's go over the players and their heroes now that I have something to do and I'm not just trying to fill dead space reading the chat. We got HS Triple Plus playing the Nature's Prophet that we saw in that last game against Cubandas. Fatal gonna be playing the Shadow Demon. Talento de Barrio going to be playing the Nyx Assassin. Missing someone. Lamo going to be on the Anti-Mage, and that leaves Sharvik taking up the Tinker in the mid lane. In the meantime, the Dire side, we're going to have Artyk. We got Masoku taking up the Ogre Magi. Pandora Fu with a bunch of A's on the Darkseer. Smash going to be on the Magnus Iwo, on the Phantom Assassin, and finally Mystico on the Rubik.
30 seconds to battle.
Mystico. Sure, Mystico. So Mystico on the Rubik, it does look like Rubik's hanging out in the mid lane. Are they going to try dueling for a little while? They know they don't really need the support up here. Darkseer already in position to try and keep the jungle under control. That's where he's going to be hanging out farming for the time being.
The battle begins.
Iwo is lagging hard. Well, hopefully it's not going to be a problem. I don't know what server this is on. I guess I can... No, I'm in Dota TV, so it won't tell me anything. Wasn't paying attention. Mystico is the Peruvian puppy. You can steal March of the Machines. Seems like a pretty decent spell to steal. I mean, I don't know if I agree with you to do Todd of Dota. I guess it's Todd with 1D. There's a lot of vocabulary to English. It's just that most of it isn't used in any sort of conversation, whether casual or not. It's not like there aren't tons of words in the English language. It's just that everyone has the ones they're comfortable with using, and they use them repeatedly. Now, given the only other language I've ever had experience with in, like, actually learning is Latin, so my basis of comparison, you know, might be a little off. We got another pause. Hopefully Artyk aren't having too much trouble. Like I said, I don't know what server this is on. I kind of guess it would be US East, since it is a Russian team and a Peruvian team, which is very far. Those are not close to each other for those of you unfamiliar with geography, world geography. Peru and South America, obviously Russia is all over the place. I don't even know where these players are. I kind of always assumed that most Russian players are in Western Russia, but I don't know. They got details for that language. Yeah, I love Latin. Don't get me wrong. Latin was a great language. I definitely enjoyed studying it. I wish that my college had more language options that I would have been able to get involved with. We're having a weird discussion right now. Who is the caster? My name is Kanaz. It says on the screen right there, broadcast by Kanaz in the like 8-bit lettering. It's pretty sweet. My friend convinced me to use this lettering. Alright, the game's back to it. We'll finish the conversations we're having. Maybe later. We have lag issues here on Peru. Okay. You will. So, creeps are spawned, heading to the lanes, and we get to go and watch a game finally. There's a disruption coming up. Where's it at? Oh, it's on Ogre Magi. Taking a lot of damage. There is the Ion Shell there. Dealing some damage to the Nyx Assassin as well as killing off those illusions a little bit. But not doing a ton. And now everyone just gonna head to the lane. So it's Andy Mage down in the bottom lane by himself for the moment. We see Nature's Prophet jungling. Over here, not gonna even try and head towards their tri lane. And Darkseer doing the same. Not running into anything. In the meantime, Mystico, he's hanging out, doing some stacks it looks like, maybe trying to help Darkseer get as much farm as possible early on. And Masoku doing more of the same, so we have stacking going on from these supports. And Darkseer just killing off creeps. What are the supports on the Radiant side doing in the meantime? Nyx Assassin looks to be setting up for some stacks of his own. But a little bit behind. Artyk doing a little more work with their supports on these stacks. Actually, no stack even coming out here. They're just going to probably chain pull through. Help the Animage out, and Lamo has actually put a lot of pressure on this creep wave. Kind of surprised to see that. Maybe they're going for the fast tower push. We saw this from them last game. Their team wasn't particularly well suited to pushing, but they just went for it right away. Mystico making his way down here on the Rubik. Maybe knows the supports aren't here at the moment. He's just going to try and leech a little experience near the tower.
Is under attack.
Get whatever he can. He's halfway to level 2. And just getting some free experience is pretty okay. Sharfik continue to get the best of farming in the mid lane. Not really surprising. Tinker is arranged here. Also can utilize that laser to make sure Smash can't get these last hits. If at all possible, he's just going for some harass. He has his bottle up. Looks like Magnus doesn't... Well, maybe bottle crowed already, yeah. That explains why he was so high on HP. He had already used his bottle to get back to full. This laser from Sharfik doing work. Hasn't decided to use his third skill point yet. Maybe not sure what he wants to commit to if he's going to go for that March of Machines, but he decides to grab a point and heat-seeking missile now. He's going to get this kill on Smash. Needs one last attack, 120 damage, not quite enough.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Not quite enough, and the push is coming out from QE in this bottom lane. Pretty standard, I think, that they were doing this. We saw them do it last game. To pretty good success. They got a lot of towers early. It let them sort of stay in the game when they weren't really doing the best in terms of farm. Just the way Q-Pandas had ended up laning, got them more experience. See how it's working again this game. Ogre currently up to level 2. Check all the levels actually. Shadow Demon kind of the one getting punished at the moment on the Radiant side. Hasn't been able to do a ton. Shadow Demon just not doing a lot yet. Sort of hanging out, watching the Nyx Assassin pull, trying to get some experience of his own, Nyxing just a little bit more. And it looks like a gank coming on Sharfik. He's going to get first blood, killing off Smash, but there are supports behind him. Ogre Magi and Rubik, but they don't do enough damage, and Sharfik going to keep going for it. Going to have the laser in a couple seconds. Masoku going to drop the slow on him. HS, Trip Plus, coming in. But not going to be able to really do anything. He doesn't even have a point in Sprout to cast if he wanted to. Meantime, Evo continuing to farm up here in the top lane. Doing about the same as Amage. Amage a couple last hits ahead. Which is pretty good for Lamo. They've also been pushing, so he's just doing a better job of last hitting overall. And we have another large creep push coming. That tower already down to half HP. This might be the end of it unless they get someone else down here. And it's going to be Mystico on the Rubik. He's porting in already. Can he get anything done though is the real question. Tier 1 taking damage down to quarter HP. That Fade Bolt did fly through from Rubik, but Mystico doesn't have the mana to do anything else. He can pop Telekinesis, but that probably just gets him killed. Fatal staying back trying to zone Mystico out. He knows if he catches him with the disruption, it's going to be the death of that Rubik. I really need to put a thing at the bottom of my Twitch page that I can't change the resolution. As I can't. Sharfik still way ahead on last hits. 2 full creep waves with that 8 last hits ahead. As well as he got first blood, so those boots of travel. 600, 500 gold off now. Not too far. Not too far. He's going to have it in the near future, and that's going to let him roam. And we see that he's already going for heat-seeking missile. He's not choosing to pick up March of the Machines. Quite yeah, he's at level 7 actually. And wards get delivered to him. He's going to run up and ward probably while he grabs or checks the rune. I don't know. Just going to chop one up there so he has a rune ward.
Radiant's top tower
Doesn't even care if the enemies know that he warded there.
Are fortified.
Into Artyk now hitting the tier 1 in the top lane. Should be a pretty easy kill for them as well. Sitting here, giving the tower the all auto attacks. Masoku with the big old club. But not really going to be able to do much again. Neither team really having heroes that are particularly great at pushing. Sharfik maybe thinking about getting in a fight with Smash. Maybe not the best idea. Smash is only level 5, so he doesn't have that reverse polarity yet. And everyone just content to farm. Sharfik gonna dodge a shockwave. This is the only really place that action is going down, so kind of taking some time, sort of lingering, watching here what Sharfik's doing. Since this Tinker is getting very close to Boots of Travel, and that's probably going to be important. That's the kind of thing that you expect to be a big deal in a game, and Nature's Prophet even helping him last hit. Gonna miss that one 5 gold. So close, so close. Has the money, if he wants to go. Picks up a point in rearm as well. Only 2 points in homing missile. Smash running forward, maybe thinking about going for the reverse player. He might even be able to get the kill, but here comes the Boots of Travel now. I wonder if they know that Sharfik has all of this money already. 7-minute Boots of Travel is going to be kind of a big deal. Smoke going to be used by Artyk. They're going for the gank already. But it's too late. He's got those Boots of Travels. Even if they kill him, like, he loses 100 gold, maybe. Smash going to be spotted out. And there's 4 heroes in the mid lane. Tinker, he's bailing. Oh, I guess I wasted all my mana. It's a good thing I have rearm and Boots of Travel. And he's going to head towards this top lane, and maybe we'll see if he just starts dropping March of the Machines. Looks like he's going to. Level 1 March, not going to do a ton at stalling up these creep waves. He's even using laser to last hit there. But it will keep them off this tower. And in the meantime, QE continue to look pretty far ahead. What was that? The courier came really far forward. And it looks like we have a moment of peace. Let's look at experience of gold. See how this early game is going thus far. QE heading gold by about 1200. This Impale gonna miss there from Nyx Assassin and Pandora. Experience, however, going the way of Artyk by about 1500. It's pretty much exactly what I said. Smash with that haste rune coming in. Wants to get a kill on anyone he can, but not going to have any success thus far. Fatal hiding on the side, and he's going to be able to pour out. So, nothing going to come the way of Artyk. That gank just going to kind of keep Animage off the creep wave for a little bit. Do whatever damage it can. And everyone's just content to continue farming. Evo has taken the lead in terms of farm, as well as having the Hand of Might is picked up on the Phantom Assassin now, so definitely could be getting quite big. Animage, he seems to be just going for that Battle Fury pretty quickly. Already has the Ring of Help as well as 2400 more gold. Assassin gonna get the kill there on Rubik. He gets chased down. So another free kill going the way of QE. Helping do as much damage as possible to this Artyk lineup, and they also got a kill on Darkseer, which I completely missed. Nature's Prophet got that kill. Wasn't even paying attention to that one. Smash, he's got his bottle, but he's really far behind in terms of farm. He's already died once, he's rotating around trying to get anything down he can, and he's sitting a full, like, 20 last hits behind the Tinker. Sharvik definitely going to be having a bigger impact in this game. Looks like he's going to pick up his soul ring now with this Sage's Mask, and there it is. Buys it, immediately pops it. And in the meantime, Tinker can get stunned in his top lane and then daggered. What a dagger! Sharvik can't catch up to anyone to really get those kills like he wants. But he will soul ring, pop another Merchant of Machines. Maybe even thinking about doing it again before he leaves now.
Middle tower is under attack.
And just gonna be content to back off. He gets farm from not even that far away, or from pretty far away rather. They're just gonna port to the mid lane. Actually throwing out a homing missile, heat-seeking missile, immediately upon entering the lane, just to force Magnus back once again. Sharvik doing all the work he can. He's going to port to this bottom lane. Lamo chasing after Rubik. Unfortunately, Rubik steals Blink. Do they have anything? No. It looks like Animage gave up on the chase. Didn't think that Nature's Prophet was coming in. I don't know. Could have used that Mana Void, though, to set up the kill. Meantime, Tinker coming. Oh, thinking about going in the top lane. Nyx Assassin trying to set up a gank on Phantom Assassin. Not going to succeed. It looked like Tinker maybe just trying to force some panic out.
Radiant's middle tower
could have gotten the kill on Eo very, very easily. One laser finishes her off, but Lamo being chased a little bit by Mystico. He still has that blink taken from Animage, who has actually maxed, as well as 3 points in the mana break, 1 point in spell shield. So not going for the super passive build where you just get some stats. And everyone content to continue farming. Take a look at net worth, and we can see that Phantom Assassin rather is currently leading in that front. Looks like Sharvik might be in some trouble stunned up here. Tower Smash taking a lot of damage. Sharvik trying to rearm to get anything he can. And gonna be low on HP, still alive, and gonna bottle up. Soul Ring. Needs to probably port out 2 kills. Going the way of QE. Getting both the Rubik and the Ogre Magi 5-1. Now going to be the kill lead in favor of QE. So continuing to just sort of win this early game, but Phantom Assassin's still up there farming. They haven't really done much to shut her down. And that Midas gonna keep building up farm and experience on her side. Animage is doing well in last hits, however, at the same time. Does he have that Battle Fury done? Where's he at? He does have the Battle Fury, so that's a 13-ish minute Battle Fury. His boots as well. No treads finished yet, but we'll have them in the near future, especially with this Battle Fury already picked up. And he's already split pushing away. Getting every last hit. Mystico gonna show up and spell steal on him. That's Blink once again. And when this guy steals the Blink, you know, he can't really rely on that to get away. It's just going to be a Rubik chasing after him. Looks like a fight going on in this top lane. They want to get the kill on Emo, and they're going to with that heat-seeking missile. Masoko taking a lot of damage. The laser just hitting so hard when you have that a soul catcher on you, and there's a heat-seeking missile as well. He's trying to port out the shockwave. Gonna hit on Atreus, but they do have the sight and managed to get that kill on him before he's able to port out the Ogre Magi. So another 2 kills going the way of QE. They do get the kill on Nyx Assassin. Both deaths on him at the moment, I believe. Currently 1 and 2 and 4 on Nyx, so he's been involved in pretty much every kill in this game. But this Ogre Magi pick just really not feeling like it's doing a ton.
Top tower is under attack.
He's just kind of dying. We can bring up the kill deaths. We see that Tinker kind of controlling the game, 302. 105 also coming up from the Shadow Demon, so he's been doing a lot of work, not actually getting the kills.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And everyone just back to farming. No need to force fights. They did get the kill on the Phantom Assassin. It looks like QE are mostly... Looks like they're mostly happy at the moment to just kind of farm up. And QE going to continue just ganking around the map while Animage farms. Pretty surprising that they haven't really gotten Llama yet. Masoko going to show up, drop a ward in the jungle. This ward here trying to block both this camp and this camp.
Are fortified.
Meantime, they're doing a lot of damage to tier 1. And some tier 1 damage up here as well. Pandora going to get caught by the trees, going to eat out one. Surge coming off cooldown now, and then there's the ult from Shadow Demon. Llama gets the kill on this Anti-Mage.
Full roots and run.
And they managed to defend their tier 1 in the mid lane, but that's only because QE have already bailed. There's 3 heroes up in the top lane already pushing into that tier 1. And it looks like Nyx Assassin is hanging out in the mid lane. Gonna get the impale on a couple. The blink from Mystico gonna maybe set up a kill on Sharpik. No, not quite yet. Trying to do whatever damage he can. Shark trying to bottle up, but not gonna be able to do that when he's on fire. Got a Boots of Travel out now though, after popping a couple waves of March of the Machines. He's got that at level 3, went for a 3rd point heat-seeking missile as well. And it looks like this tier 1 in the bottom lane gonna go down. Ewo trying to get away, maybe trying to hide to get this port off. Running away, and he's gonna blink in, actually going on Sharpik. The laser's there, however. Sharpik's still alive, gonna force staff out Ewo. Looks like he'll be able to port. And Masoko trying to go for Sharpik now. Taking a lot of damage from that March of the Machines. Mystico being chased by HS. Looks like Masoko will go down with the ult from Shadow Demon. Are they going to be able to get Mystico though? It looks like not. Now Smash with the Blink Dagger. Gonna get away, he has a double damage. Oh, there we go, Tinker.
Blinded you.
Nature's Prophet had some summons chasing him. So these fights starting to get split up pretty badly as Artyk are just kind of on the back foot and all of them running away constantly, trying to do whatever they can. But 10-2. Now going to be the kill lead for QE. Let's take a look. Look-see. Experience 4K. Now the lead for QE Gold. Sitting at almost 5.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
So they're starting to build up a little bit of a lead in. Artyk, what are they really going to do here? Phantom Assassin is getting pretty big. Going for a Yasha, so it looks like we're going to see actually Manta style coming out from the Phantom Assassin. Not the item I would have expected to see, to be honest.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Darkseer, what is he even doing up here? I don't... Maybe just a casual Yasha. Sure, it could just be a casual Yasha. Ewo doing some damage to Sharpik. Gonna be able to get this kill, maybe. The laser's there, and the Shockwave gonna finish him off. Meantime, looks like the ult gonna come out from Fatal on Ewo, trying to do whatever damage he can. The reverse player gonna land on Shadow Demon. Ewo immediately gets the crit and gets that kill, but dies. And with that Soul Catcher on Smash, it's gonna be his death as well, with Hexer. Or with Tinker porting back in.
Has been denied. Dire's top tower is under attack.
There we go, 14-4 now the kill score in favor of QE, and they're chasing after Pandora. It's kind of unimaginable that they would get this kill. He's coming back in. Kind of surprised to see that. Seems a little bit more aggressive than maybe he needed to be. March of Machine spam coming up from Sharpik, trying to keep this creep wave off that tower, and the tier 2 is going to go down. With some help from Anti-Mage. Now the tier 1 in the mid lane gonna go down. Well, who's gonna get the last hit? Nature's Prophet actually getting it with one of those little treant summons. And now the tier 2 in the bottom lane taking damage. HS going for the kill. Looks like he's gonna have to bail though. He's going for the Shadow Blade, decided to pick up this mechanism as well. And this is gonna be in deny range. It's probably going to deny. In the meantime, there's a fight going on in the jungle. It looks like Talento de Barrio. Whatever. Nyx Assassin gonna get caught out. He goes down, and they don't get to deny on the tier 2. It just goes down to the catapult. That seems like kind of a big mistake. They had 5 heroes there. Probably didn't need all of them to really just jump on that next assassin. Pandora, what are you doing, buddy? Just running into the Marching Machine spam. And going to get kind of shredded. He's down to half HP even after popping the mech. And having 24 HP regen per second with that Tranquil Boots on. Smoke is up from Rubik. They're standing right in the middle of this Sentry Ward. So Mystico and Smash not going to be really having too much success with this unless Sharpik just decides not to do anything about it. He's going to leave now though. Darkseer picking up a Blink Decker of his own.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And here we go. Top tier 3. Down to half HP. They're going to get the stun on Lava. As well as the Skewer. They don't have the reverse polarity. Though they do. Someone mana boots him. Or he mana boots himself actually. To get that mana. Ewo going on Lava though. Doing a ton of damage. Laser is going to be there as well as the Blink.
Dire's middle tower
Hexer,
is under
I'm
attack.
pretty sure isn't in this game, guys. I don't know why people are asking this question. This fight going down the mid lane a little bit. Pandora getting slowed up. He's going to get lasered. A bunch of Shadow Poison. Now there's the Soul Catcher as well. They still have the sight. The homing missile's there. Tinker going to go down. Soku getting into this fight pretty quickly with that port. Ewo going on Fatal. It's going to be the death of the Shadow Demon. He gets one last Shadow Poison off before going down. It's probably going to port to the top lane. Tinker to the bottom. Let's continue this split push and going up here. And looks like pressure kind of off. The supports are down from QE 15 to 7. Now the kill score in favor of QE, but Artyk have pulled it back a little bit, and with those couple kills, it looks like they're going to try and go for a kill on Roshan. And while this is going on, if HS knows it's going on, which it doesn't look like is the case, he could be pushing into this top lane pretty easily. He's not feeling comfortable. I think he has the Shadow Blade. He really needs to be up there putting as much pressure on as possible. Roshan is going to go down shortly, and Ewo does get the Aegis. And now HS knows what's up. But will he be able to do anything? His team is getting in a fight. Here we go, Anti-Mage. What are you doing, buddy? Reverse Polarity going to come out. Disruption going to keep us alive for the moment. Ewo going to go down. With that, in the meantime, everyone else running away. Will Ewo be able to get out after this? The Impale's there immediately. And then in Urn Charge, Ewo just going to blink on Fatal. Fatal, what are you doing? Why would you stick around? I don't know, but they are going to lose their tier 3 for this. Pandora is going to blink in. Gets the wall off on HS, and Sharpik just going to bail. HS, no mana or cooldown on the Shadow Blade. Probably in some trouble here. He can't port even if he wanted to. And Ewo is just going to be able to get that kill. In the meantime, Sharpik having some trouble getting attacked. Phantom Assassin does go down from the Nyx Assassin game. Pandora daring to do whatever damage he can. And HS buys back and is back in the fight. Probably no buyback. There's buyback actually up on the Phantom Assassin. Kind of surprised to see that 3,100 gold. Not sure what she's saving up for. Oh, Nyx Assassin gets obliterated there. By all the magic damage with the Fate Bolt, the Flame Blast? Fire Blast. And the Shockwave hitting him basically simultaneously. Gets killed off like instantly. But it is now 17-11, the kill score in favor of QE. And let's take a look at Experience of Gold, see how the mid game has been sort of coming out here. 7,500, 9,000 about gold, the lead for QE. Experience though dipping back down with these kills starting to go the way of Artyk. Only about 4K now. So while they do still have a lead, QE, be careful about getting picked off. Their supports have been dying quite a bit as of late. We see 8, 1, and 7 is Sharpik on this Tinker. He's still doing fantastic. Well, on the other end of the spectrum, we have like Nyx is 3 and 5, 3 and 3 now in the Shadow Demon with that quite a few times. And Anti-Mage getting himself picked off there. Not sure what that was about. Llama continuing to farm this anti-mage. He's got Vlad's and Mantis Staff. So Vlad's pretty aggressive and pretty much a sign that they're going to go for some pushes here in the near future. But here we go, anti-mage. Super dead. Mantis Style's going to be there. He blinks out in time to dodge the vacuum, but then he starts walking back, so not sure what that's about. He gets himself killed. Nyx is hanging out in the bottom lane watching what's going on. Support's going to come and try and stop HS from really surviving here. The dust is up on Mystico if he can get in range, but Shadowblade makes the Nature's Prophet pretty quick.
Invisibility.
And once again, kill going the way of Artyk on that anti-mage. Pandora in this mid lane trying to get, looks like an Ag Scepter coming up from him in this Darkseer. Gonna be a little while before we start seeing it. And really, I'm not sure how much it's gonna do. Obviously the illusion's doing a lot of damage, is relevant, but I don't know. Maybe it's better. I feel like a Scythe of Eyes might just be better against this anti-mage. You don't expect him to really go for BKB, and holding him in place for as long as possible is definitely a good idea going later and later in the game, as well as it being useful against this Tinker who now has a Scythe of Eyes up and is just wandering around and, you know, being a general nuisance with the split push. I don't know. Looks like Satanic is up on the Phantom Assassin now. So no big deal for him, getting all that big life steal. And gonna help keep him alive in fights. Kinda surprised that we haven't seen like a BKB or anything come out yet. Pandora taking a lot of damage from that Soul Catcher with the Nature's Prophet. Mystical gonna get a lift on Nyx's Sass. He's gonna get the Impale on too. Mana Bird coming off of Mystico as well, trying to do whatever damage they can. Nyx's Assassin, can he get it? Sharpik already doing what he can. Anti-Mage has gotten picked up once again. Double kill for Ewo on this Phantom Assassin. And these supports, when they're kept out of the fight, just not getting a lot done. Nyx's Assassin, why is he running farther in? In the meantime, Ewo gets chases down the Shadow Demon. And Nyx gets another Impale on too, but he loses life. Darkseer is down. And the only one left alive is Nature's Prophet. Ends up being a 4-for-1 trade in favor of Artyk. They're starting to come back here. Don't call it a comeback. But Ewo starting to get pretty strong. Turns out anti-mage, when he gets held down, is in a lot of trouble. We're going to see Pandora need a second, so there's going to be a pause. And I can take a breath, because this is a long day. Alright, so vamos Peru, arriba Peru, carajo. Call Merlini for the tactical pause. This isn't a very good time for Artyk to be tactical pausing. Like they just want a 4-for-1 fight. What is this? Why are people inviting me to join things? Don't people know I don't like anything? Just a tip, call Merlini. Someone asked how Anti-Mage died. It's the same ways he's died every fight. He gets stunned and then Phantom Assassin does 1,000,000 damage. And he doesn't have anything to do. I don't think anyone called Artyk a noob. Try and keep it in English, please, guys. Minimap color red. I don't know what that means. I mean, the minimap is red. Like, Nice comments. May I ask who are fighting? This is Artyk against QE. It's listed in the top of the screen. If you look up above where the video is playing. Who won? Who won what? The other team beat Cupid, as we see QE is now in this match. Why won't joinDOTA update Artyk's profile? I don't know, you should ask someone from joinDOTA. I would suspect it's that they have other things to work on. It was pretty close. Entropy. It was a very close game. Best of one, Hex are not playing, QE are tryouts, Cupid lost, Artyk improving, and stop asking. Look at how informative that was from Renflux. What is this pause taking so long? He said sec, and now he's been gone for a while. The Ogre Magic just disconnected. I want to see the game too, guys. Yeah, the problem with that is you either say Phantom Assassin crits every 5 attacks, and then people are just going to stack attack speed on her, or you're going to just say, you know, she has the every X seconds crit, and then everyone's just going to always stack as much damage as possible on her because you know you're getting the crit right away. You can just walk into a fight and get the crit. Yell goal every time Artyk gets a kill. I'm not going to do that, unfortunately. You found a stream in Spanish. Enjoy. There was a guy posting it earlier. If you guys prefer Spanish, you know, whatever. I don't think this team is playing that bad, QE. I don't know. Hexor is playing. I don't think... I agree with you, Renflux. I don't think Hexor is playing Sangriasville. Do I think Sing Sing is better than Dendi? I don't know, maybe lately. Kaipi aren't even playing No Tidehunter, are they? They're playing only Tidehunter. That's a different team. That's Cinderin's new team. No Tidehunter is not the same as only Tidehunter. Yeah, guys, there's a Spanish stream that was just posted by Nick's Dark. If you guys want to watch that. If you guys don't speak English natively, you'd prefer a Spanish stream, you know, feel free for it. Just don't start posting links to other English streams. Like, I don't really care, but it's kind of a bad habit to let people get into. One v one me, bro. We're back to it. They apologized. We can watch the game. We can watch the game. Ewo continuing to get farm. That Yasha, you know, maybe it's working out. The attack speed's pretty good. Gives her a little bit more base damage, maybe at a time when she thought she was going to need it. It's saying 10-3 now in kills. And the highest net worth by only about 1k, but the Anti-Mage definitely feeling weak by comparison. This Manta just, you know, it doesn't really do too much. Mystico hanging out near the Ancients. Probably going to be stacking these for the Phantom Assassin, I would guess.
Haste!
Not sure how successful that's really going to be. It's not like Phantom Assassin. It has a Battle Fury, but it does have the Satanic, so you know, lifesteal's there. And Anti-Mage might be in some trouble here. Do they? Oh, the reverse player almost came out from Smash. Would have been tragedy, as Anti-Mage had already blinked away. He gets the stupid haste animation that Anti-Mage has. Alright, so everyone's just kind of farming it up. We have an ultimate orb picked up on Nature's Prophet, so it's going to be a Scythe of Ice coming out from him in the near future. Still nothing else picked up on the Phantom Assassin yet, up to 4,400 gold. Not sure what we're going to see her go for, if she wants to go for the Manta. As someone in chat was pointing out that you can counter the Tinker Laser, and I'm assuming they were talking about Phantom Assassin going it, and not the Anti-Mage that was allied with Tinker. I don't know. Nature's Prophet, though, split pushing away. Someone's going to have to rotate up here, and it looks like it's going to be Smash. Anytime Lamo is checking Roshan, still a minute and 2/3. Maybe they're kind of relying on that long pause to kind of reveal or obscure what time Roshan actually died if they didn't write the timer down. Or maybe had it typed in chat and lost it. Like a lot of typing during the pause. Who knows? And here comes Tinker split pushing as well. This is kind of the worry you have to have if you're thinking about, if you're Artyk and you're trying to just decide what you're going to be doing here. The split pushing lineup from QE is strong. They have Tinker, they have Nature's Prophet, and even Anti-Mage is a pretty good carry for split pushing with the Battle Fury, the Blinks. These are the things they're going to have to worry about. Sharvik picking up a Ghost Scepter now. We'll see if he goes for the full Ethereal Blade, or is just going to stick with the Ghost Scepter for the safe. But Roshan going to be respawning momentarily, and Artyk already going for it. Can they? Will they get punished, though, is the real question here. Looks like Sharvik is getting involved in the Roche fight, actually, not deciding to push all the way out. But Nature's Prophet, he is up in this top lane pushing. Roshan going to respawn within seconds. They're going to have to do it pretty quickly. Ewo is farming some Ancients, will be there basically as the spawn happens, if he so wishes. Looks like he's just going to head to his bottom lane to stop this push in the meantime. And that battle, oh, of course, the Enrage. Totes forgot about the Enrage, which is an issue on this Phantom Assassin who already does 1,000,000 damage. Giving her cleave as well as even more damage, not a very good looking for QE. People are complaining I'm not looking at the graphs. Well, I did. It just seems like a long time because we had that pause. 3,300 experience going to be the lead for QE. Gold, well in their favor though, about 11k. Scythe of Eyes up on Nature's Prophet. Artyk still getting pretty heavily out farmed, but Ewo looking pretty big. Looks like an MKB going to be the pickup. I don't think that's surprising in any way. Anti-Mage is probably going to want a butterfly at some point.
Dire's top barracks are under attack.
As well as having, of course, the laser effect from Tinker. Doesn't want to deal with any of that mischance. So just going to have that PA Twin Blade is new. That's the default weapon for Phantom Assassin. I even checked to make sure. I was pretty sure it was, though. Nyx Assassin smoked up, gonna throw an Impale in that bottom lane. The split pushing continue in the top lane from Sharfik, as well as HS. Roshan is still up. Ewo checking it, not going for it yet though.
Top barracks are under
And
attack.
going to spot out Shadow Demon. There's the slow. Ewo gonna just absolutely shred Fatal. And this is gonna start getting pretty scary. The barracks taking some damage here, and Nature's Prophet getting a kill on Rubik actually. Teleport not coming through. Sharfik's there. Vacuum gonna come off an HS. Smash does have the reverse player if he wants to go through with it. Doesn't look like he's interested. Seems to be going for a BKB in this particular game. Meantime, Ewo getting in a fight with Anti-Mage. Mana burned. Caught in a hole. Ewo gonna lose his life. Satanic not going to get him there. Not gonna let him heal up. There's just too much. And here we go. The buyback did come out from Ewo. Trying to make it there in time, but it doesn't look like he's going to have much success with that. Lamo will be able to get the kill on Roshan instead. So, Aegis now up on Anti-Mage. Probably not going to do a ton, but they do get that pick on Ewo, and that's a huge deal. And this split pushing again, just kind of being an absolute bitch. Phantom Assassin though gets a double kill right there, and it looks like it's going to be more triple kill now. Gem is on the ground. We'll see who ends up picking it up. Ewo actually just going to go for it on the PA. Wouldn't be surprised to see BKB as the next pickup for Phantom Assassin. If you can't lock her down, probably not going to win the game. She's going to just destroy this tier 2 tower very, very quickly. That Empower, 1500 damage crits. That's no bueno. And a little bit of a lag spiking game, but Ewo getting sheep sticked up. Here comes the rearm. They have in there. No, the Mana Void just going to be enough to finish him off. Mystico is caught as well. So once again, forcing supports to back off, and then getting the kill on Phantom Assassin. And that's 80 seconds with no Phantom Assassin. Sharfik going to port into the middle of the base and just kill him with Soku. Double kill from across the map. Here we go, Pandora blinking forward, trying to go on Sharfik. HS is there. Gonna hold Pandora in place, doing as much damage as possible with this sheepstick damage. Smash going to blink in, not be able to get that skewer off, and now getting shredded by Anti-Mage with the Basher. Actually, the whole Abyssal Blade done. That's gonna be Rax down as soon as this clip goes off, and they're actually just going for tier 4s. They don't want to fight this anymore. Maybe they're just worried about this Phantom Assassin doing too much damage. Tier 4-1. Already going down. Pandora taking a lot of damage. Sheep sticked up. Can they get him down? And he is go down. Sharfik going to be able to get that kill. HS taking a lot of damage from these tier 4s as well as the illusions. It's going to be Ag's illusions, right? No, not yet. Seems like they were doing a lot. Mystico getting hit by Lamo. Needs bash. There's the bash. Pandora going to go down. That's post buyback Darkseer as well. Lamo now leading into the other tier 4. Multicast. But not going to do enough work. Masoku going to lose his life once again. Nyx just popping the ult in the hit. And there goes the Ancient. Why take Rex when you can just take Ancients? GG. QE gonna take it. And they move on to the semis. Not sure who they're facing up against yet, but man, that was a silly game. I was not expecting that ending. And maybe you guys were just like them to skip the barracks and be like, let's just take tier 4s. Guys, we have like 80 seconds. Tier 4s. The scrambled, trying to defend from Artyk, but of course, no one but the Phantom Assassin really had any farm. And once again, my name's Kanaz. That was a quarterfinal match between QE and Team Artyk in the joinDOTA Open. We'll be back momentarily while I figure out what I'm going to do for the semifinals. It's probably cast whatever I guess Epi's going for us, assuming Toby and Epi are going to both cast the same game. We'll see. But I'll be back momentarily. Thanks for coming, and feel free to stick around.